Alrighty, I believe this is on. So I just got home from the second round of the Boylston Chess Club Tuesday Night Swiss, my second ever over-the-board game. I was playing against James Fallon. I had the white pieces, he had the black pieces. He is 1253, and, I won't spoiler alert for what happens, but I'm very curious, as I have not analyzed anything. I am eating a tuna fish sandwich, kind of my dinner, while doing this recap. Maybe I should have eaten first, I don't know. But my opening thoughts were this. My friend Ian played this guy in the first round. Ian lost, but the moves that he sent me, the chess annotation was pretty off, but I followed the first 17 moves or so, and his opponent didn't play that well. Ian didn't either, but I kind of came in thinking that this would be a slam dunk, easy. Big mistake, of course, but he made a lot of mistakes, at least from the annotated note that Ian sent me. Truth is, people are idiosyncratic. Sometimes they got good days, sometimes they got bad days, and I must have caught him on a good day, as you'll see what happens. I think he played very well, spoiler alert. I have not run through anything on the computer. I'm really curious. I'm going to kind of go through my thoughts, and without further ado, here we go. Before the game, I looked at the computer, before the game, obviously, and I reviewed the opening. I normally play the Queen's Pawn. I normally play the Queen's Gambit. For whatever reason, and I feel like an idiot, I studied the Catalan opening today. I finished DMing this afternoon, and I spent about 30 minutes just studying the Catalan lines, thinking that, hey, it would be kind of fun to play something slightly different. I should never do this. I'm gonna stick to the openings that I know for the next, 100 games of Classical, which will probably be for a few years. Anyway, I played D4. My opponent plays D5. And with the Catalan setup, I believe you play the knight to f3, basically with the idea of an early fianchetto, so you have the long diagonal. And my opponent responded with queen c6, kind of attacking this. I responded with c4, so this is kind of the Queen's Gambit setup, but my idea, of course, is I'm going to push, I'm going to move my bishop there, I'm going to castle, blah, 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 blah. As far as time usage, I didn't really remember the exact move order of the Catalan, so I spent a few minutes on each of these moves. He was answering immediately, and I don't think any of his moves are, bad. This is all according to the book. It is a Queen's Gambit decline, QGD, so I'm very familiar, but normally when I studied or when I looked in the Catalan, I like moving my knight here, and obviously I want to push an early e4, which is what you want to do in the Catalan. But they suggest, in all the Catalan lines, you want to end up putting your knight here, so kind of can defend both of these squares. And I kept wondering if I have my bishop stuck, or if I'm supposed to develop it early. So I just didn't know, and this is why I shouldn't have messed around with it, because it kind of got me into some trouble. Nonetheless, my opponent played e6. At this point, let me see, we're still going according to book. I then played g3, which seems normal. Again, this is so I could, apparently this is not a good move, but I thought this was the right move order for the Catalan. He plays knight f6. I respond with moving my bishop in the fianchetto position, which I thought was pretty natural, pretty normal. Okay, we're back to book, and now we have an Indian game, apparently. I thought this was the Catalan setup, but, Chess.com knows better than me, of course. He responds with b6. Which I thought was kind of a bad move, right? This is the first time when he plays it, it's not a very good response, because I know I always have this pressure, and then, taking, and obviously the long-term diagonal, so I kind of like this setup. I'm still moving, taking a few minutes or so, and I guess at this point, once he plays b6, I'm considering if I should castle, which is what all the Catalan guides said. Basically, you get your early king safety, and you play long-term with the diagonal. But I also thought I was supposed to get the bishop out, and I thought I wanted to move my knight to that square. Of course, I then just kind of sighed. I castled, because I thought this was appropriate, which is the best move. Good for me. He played bishop to d6, which is fine. I mean, he was telling me that he wanted to basically free up to castle. Apparently, c takes d5 is correct at this point. I go bishop to g5, and now I bring it out. I wasn't sure if this is correct or not, but again, okay, it's the best move, awesome. My thinking was I could trade this off, and then I can still develop with the ideal setup, where I put my knight on d2, so the knights are connected. I can move my queen to the c2 square, because that's what the Catalan setup kind of recommended. I ideally want to slide my rook behind my queen, develop my other rook to one of these squares, and then look for the pawn break on e4. So that's all I was setting up. Each of these moves took me about a minute, so I was probably down about 6 minutes. He was moving very fast, so I don't even think he was down like 3 minutes or something. So, no big deal. Alright, after I played bishop to g5, he played h6, just kind of bumping it. Obviously, it's an accuracy, great. Obviously, I can't drop back because then he can trap it. I thought the best move was just to take, and look at that. I did play the best move, so that's great. I take. He didn't want to damage his pawn structure, which makes sense, so he takes with the queen. That is the best response. He's still not taking much time. And now I played the c takes because I was thinking he has to now take with the pawn. I have the long-term setup, and I basically will be able to open up on his king. So basically for the opening, I mean, I did look at the opening, the sort of the setup, and according to the computer, I just have a really nice position. Jesus Christ, I feel so terrible. Spoiler alert, I may not have won this game. Alright, nonetheless, yes, once he responds with queen takes f6 over here, I now take c takes, which apparently I should just play c3 now. And the whole time, I was thinking, am I supposed to develop the knight here? It's a setup that I'm used to. I kept thinking I'm supposed to have it here, but then I'm blocking the defense of my d-pawn, because obviously he'd be able to take. So yeah, so I play c takes. Apparently not really a great move. He takes with the e-pawn, his response. And again, he's still moving pretty quickly, to be honest. At this point, I'm still taking about a minute or two per move. I say, fuck it, let's just play the full development. I was thinking about the pawn break, because I was thinking if he takes, I can swing the rook underneath. Doesn't look like that's a decent move. I was thinking about developing my queen to this square, because I thought it belonged at c2, which is the fourth best move. But I did play the best move. I just developed the knight. Alright, great. So, we're out of the opening, and apparently, according to the computer, I have a good position, a very good position. I mean, getting up plus 1.3 is great. I thought, when I was looking at this on the board, his king is exposed, and the old truism is you basically want to open up the position when the king is still unsafe. I have the long-term bishop, where it's kind of eyeing the rook. I have more pieces developed. He has a little bit of an issue with his bishop, and I can always slide the rook over. So that's kind of what I was thinking in the game, so beautiful. It looks like the computer agrees, so far the opening went pretty well for me. So, alright. He plays knight to e7, which is the best move. I actually didn't see this right away, but he's obviously defending this this pawn. And I thought in my set, this is kind of where my training, if you will, or like the setup kind of ended. I thought that this is good for me, and according to the computer it is, so I was happy at this point. Now is where I spent another 5 minutes. The whole story of the game was that I was using, I never really did the deep think until one moment, which we're getting to. I was consistently taking like 1 or 2 minutes per move, without like any deep thoughts or anything like that, so it is what it is. I don't know if that cadence, I was almost like thinking, I wasn't really thinking that well, I guess. Anyway, I played the pawn break of e4, which is the best move. God, you know, it's so frustrating seeing this, where the computer is like patting me on the back, because I know I'm going to blunder, and I can't believe it, because it looks like I'm playing outstanding chess right now. Because I don't know these moves by memory, so I'm kind of making... And again, I played the pawn break, because my thinking is obviously I'm attacking with a potential of a fork. He can't ignore it, and then when he takes, I can take back, which is what ends up happening, and I thought this was just like a really swell position. So, cool. Not really deep thoughts, but this is what's going on in the game. Alright. So I play the pawn break of e4. He takes with the d-pawn, which is what he has to do. I take back with the knight. Knight takes on e4, which makes sense. I was thinking I always have this long term. Obviously, he's got to move the queen, and I've now succeeded in opening up. I kind of regretted him having the pawn here because I didn't quite have like a discovery, which is what I was eyeing. And I was thinking about this the whole time. And again, according to the computer, life is good. So where does it all go wrong? All right. He plays the only move. Apparently, every other move is flat out losing, which I probably saw on some levels. He plays queen e6. And this is my first thought of about 5 minutes. So I think at this point, 12 moves in, I'd use 1 or 2 minutes. I'm down to like an hour and 10, an hour 15. I spent about 5, and he's used maybe 5 minutes, maybe 6. I don't know. He has not thought for very long. The computer looks like it recommended this knight over here. Oh, to open it up that way. Yeah. Well, I guess there's a lot of moves that are very similar. I wasn't thinking about it. I was looking at all these like discoveries, and none of them really worked. So I thought, all right, what if I line up the rook on the queen and the king? To me, that made a lot of sense. Looks like that's basically nearly the best move. So maybe my move is not so bad at all. And that's what I played. I thought this was a good setup. I dodged any of essentially like the bishop checking the rook. Excellent move. Okay, so all is well. I'm pretty happy. Let me just double check that it's recording. Let's see, 10 minutes in. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to try to make this one not 40 minutes, obviously. The computer says that he needs to just castle. He needs to get his king out that way. But he now moves his queen again, and he moves to d7. According to the computer, once this is played, it should just be over. And I don't spot the win. So apparently if I take, it looks like if I take on d6, he takes with the c-pawn, and then I can just, I see, attack with a rook, and then I open up, oh, I see, bluff. I was thinking about this the whole time. Basically, it's a clearance sacrifice. The line there is takes, and then you move the knight here, and if he takes, you take. And that's everything that I studied with a Catalan. That was exactly what I was going for, but I just couldn't quite see it in the game, even though that's literally exactly what I'm playing for. Oh, God. All right, well, that's why we look over the games. Again, when you're over the board, sometimes your mind just melts a little bit. So I didn't do that, which is what I should have done. And according to the computer, the next best move is queen e2 to kind of line it up over here, which also makes sense. And I instead play queen to c2, which I guess is a miss. I missed the opportunity. I missed the move. My thinking was long-term I could like trade and kind of like line up some kind of battery. I still have like this setup, which is also what I was looking for. Basically, if he takes with the pawn rather than the queen, I can maybe swing the rook in some lines because this knight is pinned. I was seeing all this, and I thought that I had a lot of pressure. So according to the computer, yes, I did. All right. The computer says he has to castle or finish out of his bishop to develop. He does. He moves bishop to b7. Great. And then I'm thinking. I was thinking, all right, should we start kind of getting these pieces out of the way? Like this one is defending this. I could like take that and swing through, threaten to win a pawn. I have this knight pinned. He's got real problems castling. The computer says e5 is just best. Just immediately throw it there and kind of take like that. That would be interesting. That probably works because then I have a big attack and I have the open files and he's still not developed. Honestly, probably should have done that. Again, at this point, I'm moving probably faster than I ought to, but I just decide to trade. Trading apparently is the third best move, so I guess I'm not going to fault myself that much. Yeah, we trade. Also, according to the computer, it's better for him to take with the c-pawn, so I missed a win here. God damn it, I fucking suck. Alright. I'm beating myself up because I was playing pretty good moves, but I didn't quite see the best move. Alright, nevertheless, he takes with the queen, and according to the computer, this is done. No, I fucking played the best moves! Why? Alright. Try to find in this position, well, I mean, I guess I can't really block what it says on the screen because you can see my screen, but spoiler alert, I played the best move. Try to not cheat and try to find out what you guys think would be the best move here. Alright. I played the best move, alright? I fucking did it. I looked at this, I had to use at this point, 30 minutes. I said, all right, I don't want to be a monkey, but the sack looks fucking great. I actually calculated this. And by the way, it is the best move, so I played it. God damn it. I trusted myself. I played rook takes on e7. Peter says just winning, +4. And my thinking was, I calculated. I thought if he takes with a knight, with a queen, I can swing my rook, and I basically, I'm in a great position. He can't trade his queen and his knight for my 2 rooks. I just have a lot of material. I didn't calculate beyond that. So I figured, okay, he has to take with the king. Okay, once I established that he has to take with the king, I thought, well, I have a few follow-ups. I can then move my other rook into the game, basically develop the last piece, and he'll never be able to castle because he has to move up. Once he moves up, I saw he couldn't move to the d7 square because I have these discoveries with these checks, and then he loses the bishop. I immediately get my material back and some. The game is over. So I know he couldn't move there. So I thought he could either move to the d8 square or the f8 square. Right? And by the way, this was the only other time I really calculated. I thought I still probably play the bishop here because I'm threatening, if he moves to this square, I'm threatening this fork where I could attack on f7 and then I win his queen, and I still have all types of like checkmate threats. All right, so I thought his only move to push his king there. I didn't see the exact follow-up. You'll see what I ended up doing because he ends up playing the best moves in response. But I just thought that this was such a strong attack that I had to go for it. Again, I didn't calculate all the way through. I calculated up to that position where it looked really good for me. But I didn't quite see like the checkmate. I just thought that maybe I'd find it once I got there. Kind of playing on intuition. Nonetheless, move 16, rook takes. I fucking played it. Computer says it's a brilliant move. God damn it! That's the second brilliant out of 2 games I played. God damn it, I just didn't find the exact follow-up. Alright, he does take with a king, because he has to. It's the only move there. So it's incorrect to check. I have to play... Why do I... Like, I didn't see this. So this is where it went wrong. So the sack is good, but I needed to see the setup. So this is where I'm going to learn a little bit. So apparently I have to move the knight over. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm threatening... Yeah, I see why. Because I'm threatening that fork. So he has to move the king at that point. And once he moves to f8, and there, that's when I can just win the free piece. Sometimes chess is so simple when you see it on a computer. I thought all of my follow-ups involved bringing the rook in first, but no, it's the subtle move here to threaten this fork to possibly win the queen, and when he moves his king away, now I win the bishop. Well, I missed this. So, yeah, my sack is great, but not for the reasons I thought. I missed this move. This was a brilliant move, and I blundered. So, yeah. All right, spoiler alert. This is why I didn't win this game, because I didn't find this move. And I saw everything. I'd let up, and I knew this was great, but I just didn't find it. And this is not that hard for me to find, but I was moving too fast because in all my calculations, I thought the follow-up naturally was to bring the rook into the game. All right, well, 17, I play rook e1, check, which makes sense from an intuitive perspective. And right, okay, you know, I did calculate. I thought every other move was losing, which is true, according to the computer. So I thought he had to find the best move, which is not the easiest move to find, but he found it. So he then plays king f8, which is the only move, and now he's actually, like, he is the much better position. Computer gives it a great move. Oh, man. Once I play rook e1, move 17, move 18, I play knight e5, which, by the way, is the best move. And I thought this made sense. Obviously, we're opening this up, but I have potentially some checks. I have some mate threats. This is what I saw. Unfortunately, this is where I blunder. Spoiler alert. All right, so this is the aggression that I'm looking for. That looks pretty good. That just didn't really work out for me. All right, he plays bishop takes, which is the best computer move he has to take, and I made a massive mistake. I need to just take back, and the game goes on. It looks like it's playable. He's got a bit of an advantage, but I moved. This was the only move I literally blitzed. Well, not the only. I blitzed a couple, but I blitzed this one immediately because for some reason when I was calculating before that, I didn't see he could drop his bishop back, thereby saving his bishop and defending the square. I just saw this where I thought he had to drop it back, and I thought the move order would be good because then potentially I basically have this long diagonal, and I just blew it here. Classical game. At this point, I've only used 18, 30. I've used 30 to 35 minutes. I have at least 50 minutes on my clock. And rather than just take back and the game goes on, I blundered like an idiot, an absolute idiot, and I play queen f5 immediately. And once we do this, for some reason, I just didn't see this move. He finds the best move, bishop d5, of course, as he's saving his bishop. And yeah, great move. I mean, I do think my opponent defended very well here. And as soon as he did that, I looked at the board and I thought to my mind, oh shit, I lost the game, which is true. I lost the game here. I still thought that I could make some moves, some threats. For example, what I ended up playing, I thought this was kind of clever. This is kind of my bullet mentality kind of coming on in. I thought if I go here, this is pinned, so he has to check. I can then take. I'm then threatening here. And I did see all this. If he moves the rook away to safety, I can take. He takes with the king. I check, and I win back the rook. And I thought I may even be winning there. However, I missed another move, and this is what I mean. I was playing pretty quickly. I thought this was my only real chance to generate some real pressure. Only move, of course, is to take, which he does. I then take on d5, which is the best move here, of course. It doesn't matter though. I'm just cooked basically. But I do play the best move, and he plays the best response. And again, looking at this, he has a few other answers. I just thought that I'd be able to generate some counterplay. He plays the best move. I mean, he responded his defense. He played, it looks like, the best move a bunch of times in a row. So props to him. He's not even a 1300. But I messed up my moment. I should have won this game. All right. Well, nonetheless, once this happens, I didn't see a lot of threat. According to the computer, I should be playing this. I don't know why. I mean, all these moves, they don't really matter. I was just basically trying to trick him. Unfortunately, he had more than 45 minutes on the clock, so I wasn't going to win on the clock. And so I play queen d7. This is kind of a last gasp. I thought that maybe if he doesn't move the king, I have some kind of either checkmate threats or long-term maybe perpetual, like if he moves the queen away. Instead, he I think it's called he does a king run, or he runs with his king, and he plays the best moves. He plays g8, king g8. Good for him. And as soon as he does that, I just didn't see how I could have any follow-up. The computer recommends some h4. I saw what I thought was a clever line. I play f4. Again, thinking that this rook is still stuck. That if he basically retreats, I have maybe I can box in his pieces, kind of in an alpha 0 way. Once that happens, I thought maybe that would be kind of like I'd be playing up a piece. Because my queen is very strong here, and again, he can't really do anything with his rook. So I see in the computer, I'm just completely dead. The game's over. But here on the board, when I played this, I was still thinking, even after he found this move with c6, I thought that I still had chances, because I kept thinking to myself, he's only 1300, not even. He might blunder. I'm putting a lot of pressure on him. He's moving pretty quickly. Unfortunately, it looks like he kept playing the best move. Now again, not that it's that hard, but he just ran with his king. He played the best move, which is king h5 here. King h7. He literally played the best moves here. Good for him. Once he does that, I think I'm in trouble. I saw f4 to dislodge it. I didn't see his follow-up, because I thought that he'd have to move here, because I thought he had to defend this square. I thought if he moved away and I could win this pawn, I have some maybe checkmate threats or so, or perpetual. Again, over the board, I was playing some hope chess, and I knew that he couldn't, because he kept wanting to attack with his rook. Obviously, he can't do that, because then I take his queen with check, and then I can move my queen, and then I'm winning again. Alright, so I lash out. I play f5. He plays queen f6, which is the best move again. Jesus Christ. Once he goes there, I mean, of course, the game is over, but I really don't have anything, because I know his next move, and I thought it was better to play this rook rather than this rook to not give me anything, was to do that, so I really wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. I played the only move that I saw without developed any kind of counterplay. I actually did see this potential, but I played here. Rook to g2. Rook to e. There's a bug that just flew by. I don't want it to get anywhere close to my sandwich. Maybe because my AC is on. Alright, well, in any event. What the fuck? Alright, well, I don't know where it went now. Oh, that's kind of challenging. Alright, well, nonetheless, let me wrap this up, because this is basically where the game is. At that point, once I play rook e7, he responded with rook h to d8, which is not the best move. I thought this was the best move. I thought that this would be not as good. But yeah, according to the computer, I'm pretty much screwed. But I've been screwed for a while. I thought my only chance was to play queen to b7 here. Obviously, if he moves his rook to get in the game, maybe I can win back another rook. Again, I'm playing hope chess here, just trying to generate any kind of chance I can. I was thinking if he takes here, I can maybe take back with essentially tempo on the queen. But I pretty much resigned myself that I was going to be losing this game. Once I did that, he did play queen to d4 check. And it's going to be a checkmate. I play g2, which is the only response, the only thing I thought I could do. He responds with, once I moved there, to g2. Let me see, king g2. He played rook to d2 check. Did he? What move is this? 27? No, he played queen d5 check. Yep, he played queen d5. Apparently I'm supposed to go to f2 and run out this way. I didn't do that. I basically just walked into checkmate. But I thought the game was over and I was just going to let him checkmate me or so, which is what happened. So I played king g1. He plays the best line again. He played like 15 like the best moves in a row. Jesus Christ. Maybe they weren't hard moves to find, but still, they were the best moves. I moved back to king to g2. He moved down here, the best move. I moved up here, and he checkmated me. And that was the game. Checkmate. And yeah, alas, I lost. I really regretted not taking back to the king. I didn't see this. I moved way too fast, and I regret not finding the win after playing the brilliant, after calculating a lot. But that was the game. I'm now 1-1, 1 win, 1 loss in this Tuesday tournament. There's 3 more games remaining. I think if I win out, I'll still win the tournament. But that's what I gotta do now. I'm gonna be curious. Let's do the good old game review to see how well I played. Yeah, you know, my opponent played at 86% accuracy, which is pretty good. I think my last game round 1, I played at an 88.5% accuracy or so, which is great. Yeah, he played as a 2300 level. I mean, we gotta hand it to him. He I looked at the game that Ian sent me that he played in round 1, and my opponent played like 60% accuracy. He played really badly, and now he played like a lot of good moves. Again, I missed my chance. I had a brilliant move, and it wasn't to be. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, once he plays here, yeah, what he's supposed to do is just develop the bishop, which is what the Catalan guides and everything kind of say, which makes sense. He didn't do that. He plays this as well, which apparently is not as good. He's just supposed to block there. The follow-up is me taking, which is what happened. Oh, and according to the computer, it's better for him to even take with a pawn, which is nuts. All right, so we capture. I develop my knight. I am in great position here. I line up the rook. This was a mistake, because again, as noted, I should just be taking here, because that's really good. Yeah. And that will win material, because I completely missed the whole idea, even though I knew about this the whole time going on in. I instead moved over. Now I take it, and I should have a good follow-up here with the brilliant. I'm kicking myself in the head, guys, because like I did play that. And the reason why is I need to play this move, so I'm threatening that. And the game just ends, and I would have won my game on move, you know, what is that? 17. Was not to be. Instead, tactically, and as soon as he does this, I'm in tough shape. Alright, I got the bug. I don't like bugs. I like cats and stuff. Alright, well, and anyway, once I do this, I, of course, needed to just take it back. And the game would have gone on from here. I would have had a lot of pressure. He still would have had complications with a rook on the h square. Maybe I could have won this one still, but I just missed the fact that he could move his bishop back, and I moved too fast. And that's the game. That's a classical game. Props to my opponent. Looking at the rating, he played very well. I had some opportunities. He was consistently making the best move to kind of put it away, and then he checkmated me. Alright, well, I'm going to save this game. I think I would do it... How do I save the game? There's definitely a way to save it, somehow. I saved the game before, so let's find out. How do I save this? Not like that. Not like that. Alright, well, I'm going to end the video. I'm going to save this first, of course. Do I do it like this? Saved analysis? Nope. Add to game collection. Let's add to game collection. This is going to be in, it's going to be Eckstut. My opponent is named Fallon. Whoops. The Fallon 0-1. Alright. Maybe I save like that. Maybe this is how I do it. Alright, well, I'll have to double check. Alright, anyway, I'm going to end the video. I'm going to share it. Enjoy. Hopefully I win my next round. Bye.